Hello, everybody. We are today recapping The Circle Season 2 of the US version Netflix, episodes 1 and 2. I'm here with Mike and Dot. How you guys doing and how you guys feeling about this season so far?
Doing well. Feel good. Having a great week and excited for this season of the show. It's kind of got off to a bang with some great personalities.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited to see it back too. They didn't advertise it a ton, and I was wondering when it was coming back, and well, it's back, and I liked the first season. It was entertaining.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. The first season for me of the US version was like, because I watched the UK versions first. So when this came out, I was like, it's a little too lovey-dovey for me. But this season seems a little more, strategic or something.
Yeah,
Right. All right. True. Yeah, I haven't watched the UK versions.
me
Interesting.
either.
But
They don't put it on like Netflix, which is what I watched this one on. So it's like it's convenient.
oh,
This one.
Yeah, for the UK, you basically have to fucking go down rabbit holes to find the episodes.
Yeah.
well, shit. Well, it sounds like they're a little bit more spicy, so shit, it might be worth it.
They are pretty entertaining. I felt anyway. Well, I kind of want to start by just going over the cast itself, or recapping the first two episodes. I think Mike watched the first four, but
I
I
did.
don't know about you, Dot.
I'm pretty sure I've got. I'm not going to say anything from the 3 and 4. I'll do my best.
Well, let's go over the cast. I'm going to go ahead and start with. We'll go ahead and start with Bryant, the hippie guru. What are your guys' thoughts on Bryant? Poor Bryant.
My thoughts are poor Bryant. Man, that sucks. With all the strategy and things going on in the game and people catfishing and pretending to be different types of ways, he was really trying to be authentic and be his true self. And it backfired. it didn't work. I think a lot of people were threatened by him or thought that he would get high grades because he was so, he was so positive about everything. So, sometimes that is your demise. I wouldn't thought it happened so early, but man, and I guess they didn't like his poem either. Yikes.
He did have the worst poem, I thought, too.
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't the best, but he tried.
I like Bryant. I think Bryant is a great person, like a really cool dude. However, for the sake of good TV, which is at the end of the day what I'm always rooting for, I think he was the ideal first boot. Like you kind of get the whole story from him pretty quick, and he's not going to bring drama or like crazy stuff to the show. So he seemed like a great guy, and it sucks from that aspect that he's gone. But from the aspect of like watching the most entertaining show you can, I think it's good that he was the first one sent out.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I do think he was the ideal first boot. Because, yeah, you're right. Good TV, not really Brian's forte, I don't think. He was definitely, I mean, I like the guy. I agree he's a nice guy, but I could see him getting boring after 2 episodes.
Right. I was curious to see if he may, you dig a little bit deeper and, there's some anger or some saltiness in there somewhere. But you're right. I think out of all the other characters, I don't think he was going to bring as much drama.
I think he would just breathe it away, He would just.
For real. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What was always rough for me is a little comment on Bryant is that he was like pouring his heart out, and then the host is like, "Oh, just breathe it away, Brian," and it kind of was a little tonally weird. I felt like there was like at least like 1 or 2 comments that she made making fun of him being a hippie or a breather that felt in the wrong place. But
yeah, that's true. He can't namaste here. It's like, that's dirty.
We'll go ahead and talk about who next. Delisa, who is playing her husband Trevor, the single dad.
Right.
How are you feeling about her and her catfishing so far? Started a little rough, but she seemed to pull it together after that.
Definitely started rough. I was actually believed in she's from the one from the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
So she's because it's her husband that she's trying to be. She spent so much time with him. I was like, maybe she'll be able to figure it out. But then she did get off to such a rough start, and people sniffed her out pretty early. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how long she'll be able to pull it off. Well, she was the girl that as soon as she walked in, she like tripped on the rug and fell over or something. Maybe she didn't fall over, but so she obviously pretty clumsy. I don't know. I don't know if she can keep it together. I'm curious to see though.
Mike, how about you?
In the first season, we had Seaburn playing Rebecca, which was his girlfriend, right?
Right.
So this is kind of the reversal of that. And I did not care for that storyline in the first season. However, in this season, I find it a lot more entertaining. I think Melissa's kind of got her head more in the game. And I don't know, it just normally I would hate this. I hate the concept of certain kind of catfishing in general in this show. But I think it works here with Trevor and Melissa. I like it. I mean, obviously it's kind of hard to I want to make sure they know I'm a single father, but you don't want to like overdo it and make a target out of yourself because of that. But overall, though, I'm pretty positive, and I think Melissa's got her head in the game.
Since you're the youngest one here, Mike, is 411 really that like, oh my God, that's so suspicious?
I know.
Even though
I know what
they said the name was like, she said the age was 32 as well. So I'm like, I don't think that's that suspicious.
I didn't think it was suspicious so much as it was like, you're old, because the cast on this type of show tends to skew pretty young. I mean, I don't remember all these people's ages, but I know generally they're pretty young. So I understand them not knowing 411. I mean, I know it, but that doesn't mean anything. I thought it was funny.
I guess I can understand, but yeah, I guess I'm a little bit older. So but yeah, I mean, I was surprised that she was able to get Savannah to save her or him, because I'm gonna refer to her as Trevor. Yeah, I mean, just from one conversation talking about being raised by a single parent, was able to get Savannah to turn on her girl gang, even though I guess she wasn't really too fond of Chloe in the first place. I was really impressed by that. I thought she was going to go into a conversation he had earlier, because he's been flirting a lot with Chloe. And then whenever he had the conversation with Savannah, I thought he was going to go in like guns blazing, trying to holler at her too. But a lot of those other conversations were more about let's be big bro, little sis type situations. So he's playing it pretty well so far. Not too bad.
That was definitely the right approach with Savannah.
Yeah, worked perfectly, and definitely shook up the show a bit. Chloe's pissed.
We might as well talk about Savannah next. What are your guys' first impressions of Savannah?
Mike, you want to go first?
Sure. So Savannah's great. She's like, well, I say great as in like, I think she kind of reminds me of, from the first season, she reminds me of Sammy, where she's like this like middle of road positive. She's like the first one introduced, so she's like, I don't want to say the protagonist, but like the protagonist, you get the first impression is of Savannah, and she just kind of generally seems pretty positive and is getting some like good content. She's pretty in, like zoned in, you know what I mean? And where she's sitting there at the decision room, she really ended up getting her way in the end. Savannah ended up getting her way, which is important, you know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, she did get her way in that vote, getting Brian out. Yeah, I think she's a smart chick. I think she kind of, when she first walked into the house, she was wearing a full makeup, hair all perfect and stuff for the cameras or whatever. But the profile pic that she picked was a lot less, and I think she really knew to not overdo it on the profile picture, which I think that kind of idea is working so far. She's obviously a smart chick, being into robotics and stuff like that. But you can see her starting to overthink and overanalyze a lot. I feel like every time she's looking to chat, she's like, all right, this is what I'm thinking right here, but I don't want to do this. And then what about this? So maybe I should say this, you know? And what's her name? Is it Tara Alicia?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, Tara Alicia's already starting to, I think that's why she called her a frenemy, because she's just kind of getting off put by like how she feel like she thinks versus what she's saying. So, you know, I feel like she's a pretty genuine person, but her overthinking and overanalyzing may be a problem for her.
Yeah, I'll get into it more, I guess, if we talk about the episodes, but I feel like not in personality, she doesn't remind me of this person, but in player, she kind of reminds me of Carrie with a K in your season, Dot, and that she's like, she's playing kind of hard, but she's also like, she's making friends, but she's also making enemies, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a player that just plays too hard, too fast in other games like Survivor and Big Brother. It's kind of the vibe I get from her.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And her being on the top so quickly, I mean, that just doubles down on that idea. So hopefully she can cool out a little bit, not bring so much attention.
How about Jack, who is playing
Emily?
Yes.
He's hilarious. Yeah, this dude, what's he? He's in astrophysics. Said he was cutthroat. I don't know. I initially was worried about this guy. I think he said he watched what did he say? Like he watched chick flicks to study up on how to be a woman. And I was like, bro, if you have to watch movies to study females, then I don't know. Like I don't know if you're gonna do too well playing as a woman. But you know, he's making the right move so far. I feel like he's pretty much being over nice, not trying to step on anybody's toes, not really talking when he doesn't need to. So he's playing it well so far. And I will say in the show, he's entertaining me a lot. He's like really into this show and into his character. His reaction whenever he got saved by Tara Alicia, it made me laugh a lot. So I didn't like him too much at first, but I think he's starting to grow on me.
Yeah. I get that. You know, I think I liked him pretty early because he comes in and he says he wants to be the biggest villain that the circle's ever seen. And you know, I love the villain game. It's great. I feel like his profile of Emily is like sets off like 6 catfish red flags like that. Like if I would be like of all the profiles alone and the way that they act, I would be like, this is fishy, you know. I mean, I just feel like he's not doing a great job, but he's entertaining, so you gotta hand that to him.
True.
Yeah, he's actually somebody that has played sequester minis before, so he's like a part of the org community.
Oh, interesting.
I like that. It's cool.
However, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I like him because there's something about his personality. It's not even the villainy side of him. He's just kind of annoying. He's doing a decent job as Emily, but as himself, sometimes he's like I don't even know the word to describe how I feel about him. Like curmudgeonly, maybe I want to say. There's something about him that gets annoying after a while. To
very
me.
Deadpan, and you either like that, you like that, or you like it kind of grates on you very quickly, you know.
Right.
I guess I fall into the latter.
I haven't decided which one it is for me yet.
But it's only been 2 episodes, so who knows? But he's clearly a gamer, though, if he comes from games like Sequester and these. So, like, I think he has the potential to do a good job. And I am surprised that he isn't putting up catfish red flags, like you said, Mike.
Yeah, I feel like Tara Alicia is really the only contestant that is suspicious or super suspicious right now. I feel like everyone's still trying to feel each other out. No one's like, I mean, they all know that there's at least one catfish in the game, probably multiple, right? But you know, I guess they're still just filling it out.
We'll talk about her next. What are your guys' thoughts on Tara Alicia?
Texas.
You say you haven't watched the online battle yet. You're gonna see a Texas edit. So when you watch,
nice.
Look out for the Texas edit.
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I mean, she's already a favorite of mine, being a Texas girl. Uh, no, I like her a lot. She said that she's like a catfish sniffer outer, which is gonna be fun to see. I feel like she's already starting to doubt people, and uh, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's kind of giving me Q vibes. Like she's like smart, but she's like not afraid to say what she wants to say. You know, she'll call somebody out if she feels like it. So I feel like she's
She already
gonna
has,
shake up
I
the
feel
show.
like.
Yeah, for real. And I think it's going to be a lot more of that. But I think that she'll do well too. You know, I'm afraid that mouth may get her in trouble. But you know, I feel like people that are usually genuine and make like real connections and call out somebody that they feel like is being fishy, you know, and they're being true to it. I feel like it usually, you know, they're usually able to get along with the majority of the crew. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see, because sometimes they don't. But I like her.
Yeah, Tara Alicia's great. She has like, I'm like, oh, she's probably gonna get along with people well because of that. And we get at like the end of episode 2, you can like feel her get more and more frustrated with Savannah as Savannah's pushing her agenda like pretty transparently, and just like the really funny scene between Savannah and Tara Alicia is like where it's like she Savannah's like, you can do the honors of saying who's getting eliminated, and then Savannah's like, oh, she's gonna be like, you bitch, and it cuts to Tara Alicia. She's just like, you bitch, you know. That was great. She's funny, and her saying she's a catfish sniffer outer is going to be great, because she's either going to wrongly accuse people, which is going to cause fighting, or she's going to rightfully accuse people, which also going to cause fighting. So I think she's going to be great TV, and I also think she's just hilarious. I just like her personality.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. I was also getting Q vibes in that. She says what she thinks a lot. So I mean, that is definitely Q.
Right. You know, she's a competitor.
How about Lee? I wasn't sure I was gonna like him. He was kind of the opposite of Jack for me. But I didn't think I was gonna like him. I kind of ended up liking him, whereas Jack was the opposite.
Well, I mean, he's definitely the oddball out, right? The oddest character in the show, pretending to be somebody a lot younger. I feel like he's making some pretty good connections, though. I honestly, my first impression was like, he's not going to be able to be young. He doesn't know the lingo. He doesn't know what YOLO means. Like, there's no chance you can win if you don't know what YOLO means. You just can't do it. So I wasn't much of a believer in him. But I mean, he's invested. You know, I was really surprised that he got so emotional when Bryant got blocked. Like, boy was full out crying. And you know, I think it's good that he's invested, but I feel like if you're getting that emotionally attached that quickly in a game like this, I mean, you're in for a whirlwind. Like, they're just getting started. So I'm a little bit worried about River Lee. We'll see.
Yeah, River / Lee, I was kind of on the fence about them. I was like, I think Lee really grew on me after Bryant sort of came to visit him, and he was very like emotional. Like, I feel like I feel like he isn't shown a ton, period. As in, like, when he is shown, it's just like he's just like, oh, I'm nervous because I'm on the block, which isn't like compelling. He's very actively staying out of all the drama and shit. But I think he was being pretty genuine when he was very upset over Bryant being removed, which made me like him. I mean, I don't know, I just liked it.
I think he won me over when he made up his own hashtag. I was like, okay, if he could get away with that, maybe he can be young after all.
He did pull that off very well. I was impressed. I didn't think he was going to be able to. I was like, dude, you're in trouble.
What is it again? Hashtag F.
I don't even remember. I don't know if I wrote it down.
He made it up.
Like TF, SF, or something like that.
Just for the fun, JFTF.
What a G move. What a G move.
Stop trying to make happen.
Oh,
he does
goodness.
overdo the hashtags, though. That is true.
It's all right. He's learning. I think he's a fast learner. He'll pick it up. He'll pick it up.
How about Chloe? What are you guys' first impressions of Chloe? I mean, she gave me the Circle UK vibes right off the bat with all her messiness.
Right.
But
Oh Lord. Well, I actually watched Too Hot to Handle, and she was a bit of a mess on that show. Like she was all over the place, all over every guy, kind of like just doing whatever she wants, saying whatever she wants. But it's pretty much what she's doing now, right? Flirting with every guy who's around. She's pretty much attracted to every guy who's playing the game. So I think, I think it's turning some people off, obviously, like Savannah, probably a little bit of Tara Alicia, but, she's gaining a little bit of traction with some of the guys, which is kind of what's expected. To be honest, first of all, I'm surprised that people aren't already suspicious that she's really Chloe, because I feel like that show was pretty big. You said there's going to be catfish on the show. Like, what's the chance that it's really her? I would think not really. And then two, I just don't think she's going to bring enough. Like, I don't think she's going to be strategic enough. I just think that I think she's here to kind of like get a rise out of people, but I don't think she's going to be able to be strategic enough to make, to do enough. Like, she had the conversation with Savannah, and she was just like, how, like, pretty much, I want to know why you didn't choose me over this other person. And it's like, it's, not very much finesse in that conversation. So I don't expect her to be here very long. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I've never seen Too Hot to Handle, but I don't know. She's funny. She's not very bright, or doesn't come across as very bright in the edit. And it provides a lot of humor. She's like coming out here, and immediately, I think in the first, everyone's in a group chat is like hopping right on Trevor. She's like, "Oh, Trevor, you're a single dad. I like single dads. Let's have some fun." Wink emoji. Like, it's a little much, but in like a entertaining way. In like if I was their way, that would annoy the ever living hell out of me. But as in like watching an MTV thing, you know what? Cause all the bullshit chaos you can cause. She's quite a mess. I mean, it wasn't in the first two episodes where she's like, which made me crack up, where she's like, America and the UK never had a war.
Oh Lord Jesus.
I say with Chloe, her poem shocked the shit out of me. I was convinced this poem was going to suck, but I mean, it turned out good. It was funny. It turned out good, actually, which was the biggest shock of the poem section.
Yeah,
Same.
I too wouldn't know who the hell she is. I don't watch Too Hot to Handle either, but I do like her because she's a mess. That's the only reason I like her. I like messy TV, so I think she's gonna keep bringing the mess.
Yeah,
That
agreed.
leaves us with Courtney.
Courtney's probably my, like, if I had to make like a favorite pick, Courtney is probably my favorite. Courtney's absolutely hilarious. I like that he's like, his like chess analogy, he's got this like notebook, he is like pointed, and I think his poem was underrated too. I think he had a good performance kind of in general, as in like, I think he's setting himself up well in these first two episodes, in like as well as you can set yourself up, considering where he's like getting ranked, so I just, for some reason, he just strikes me as really, really bright, and has a lot of potential to get very like catty with people down the road, which is a winning combination in my eyes. So I really am rooting for Courtney.
Yeah, me too. He's a lot of fun. I'm really glad that he decided to come in to the game as himself, but really just trying to be a more dialed down version of himself, saying that he's going to be a barista or something. I don't think that he's going to be able to stay dialed down for very long. I just don't. His personality is just going to show. It's the kind of person that he is. Definitely one of my favorites. I would say right under Tara Alicia. He's probably my number 2. But I like him a whole lot. I think that not for whatever reason, but he really gives me DeLeon vibes. Like just rambunctious, pretty smart dude. And in this past Online Isolation 2, DeLeon was really trying to tone it down to not bring too much attention, and that's kind of what Courtney's trying to do too. So I think he's probably going to be one of the most fun people to watch on the show. I would project, and I also think he's going to be here for a long time. I think he's really bright, and he's right where he wants to be. Right at tied for number 4 in that first rating, so right in the middle, and he's already making really great connections. So I expect a lot more from him.
Yeah, I feel like starting in the middle is a pretty good place to start. And yeah, you're right. I think his personality is already kind of shining through, which is why he's making connections so well. I
Right.
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. He's hilarious. I'm a fan.
I forgot to bring this note up of Jack for you, Mike, because I know how you feel about astrology. And Jack had his astrology hoodie on in one of these episodes, and I was like, "Uh-oh, Mike's not gonna like him."
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about astrology. It's pseudo bullcrap, but like he's got a lot of interesting things going on in the background on his like fridge magnets and things he has around the house. And I'm not going to name things because I don't remember where those fall in to the grand scheme of things, but it's kind of interesting to keep eyes on. I like the show that has all those little Easter eggs. Like if you're looking visually and paying attention, they get to spell things on their fridges and those little light up boards they have. And I kind of like those little touches. It makes you feel like you know these people better, even though you've only got how many sentences they've said actually.
Well, just to touch upon some other things that happened in these episodes, how did you guys feel about that initial girls' possible alliance that never really, or at least at this point, has not worked out?
Well, so the saving people thing's already happened in the first 2 episodes, right? Okay, so you are really, if you are Savannah, you are put in this like ridiculously difficult spot. If you pick Chloe, who you're actually not already a fan of, if you pick Chloe because she's a girl, that sends out this like blaring signal to everybody that the girls are sticking together. So if you're trying to make a girls alliance like that, you can't advertise that fact until you're like, you probably still shouldn't advertise it, but if you're in the lead, you can kind of like drop the lies and bullshit. But it's, I don't think everyone was equally on board with it, as we saw. I mean, if Savannah was all on board with it, she would have picked Chloe. But even if she was on board with it and fully had intended to like keep Chloe no matter what, you still shouldn't have had 2 girls picking 2 other girls going forward. It just wouldn't have made sense. So, a lot of the anger towards that kind of seems like there was an easy out from like if these people's heads are in the game standpoint, is where you just say, oh, I couldn't just advertise that all the girls are sticking together by picking you. But that out was as of yet not taken. So
that would have been
right.
The best out.
Yeah, she definitely should have used that. I really didn't think about that. But yeah, I could definitely see that. I think that she did kind of put a ripple in their alliance, though, pretty quickly. I mean, she's definitely ruffled things up with Chloe. Now Tara Alicia's not really feeling her too much. So I mean, she had a hard decision to make. If I remember correctly, in season 1, they kind of started off the same way, right? All the girls kind of got together and chatted it up and were like, yeah, girl power type thing. So I think it's kind of natural for this kind of thing to happen. I don't like fault them for making an alliance or anything like that. But I do think that Savannah made a really bad choice, choosing Trevor just based off of that one conversation that they had. I actually thought that she may have chose someone like Bryant or somebody, someone in last place who, like, if he pretty much if she would have saved him, it's like he would have been loyal to her for life type thing. I think that he's kind of that type. But I think Trevor was number 3 in the ratings, didn't really need to be saved. And, you knew it was going to piss off Chloe, kind of break up your alliance. So I think that her kind of going against the alliance caused a lot of bad for her. Put a big target on her back.
Yeah, I will say it's interesting though, is that if you pick someone at the bottom of the rankings, that means that whether strategically or people just generally don't like this person, for some reason people put them low. Like the majority of people put them low. So if you're saving third place, you're probably not going to piss people off.
That's true.
Well, you are going to piss the people who aren't saved off, but you're not going to like send out ripples of like, well, I hated Bryant's guts and you saved Bryant. Like now I can't stand you. So like, I can understand both aspects. You know, you kind of hope whoever you save will be loyal to you, but you never know. So,
right, true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Was there anything that surprised you guys about the rankings?
Yeah, I was really surprised at Bryant. I mean, I know that people were strategically putting him low, but I didn't think that he would get enough low ratings to be dead last. Like that was because I feel like it wasn't that people were turned off by him. People really just thought he was a threat, right? Or just thought like, well, I don't know if I'll be able to beat this guy because, you know, he's so likable. He, you know, raised $10,000 for his friend. I should probably get him out now. I didn't think there was enough of that going on to make him dead last. That's surprising.
yeah. I always try and predict the rankings before they start showing where people are ranking people. I had River much lower, and I had Bryant kind of more middle of the pack, but still low. I'm surprised at how high Trevor was as well. Like, I feel like third place was pretty high, especially considering that like Chloe was flirting with Trevor so openly, and Trevor was reciprocating. So I'm kind of surprised that people weren't trying to kibosh that duo a little, you know, harder than they did.
Yeah, Trevor was the surprise for me. I didn't think he was going to be as high as he was because of his initial mistakes it seemed like he was making. But I guess he pulled it together at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, did he chat with anybody else but Savannah? Did he win anybody over?
Not that we saw, not that I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's still early. Those first votes I feel like are kind of tough to make.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised he was up so high. I would have thought Courtney up a little bit higher instead. I would have thought I think Chloe was 6, but I would have thought she was a little bit lower. I thought she was turning a lot of people off. But yeah.
Two connections we saw in the second episode were Courtney and Savannah. They kind of started a connection, and then River and Terralisha also started the connection. River finally finding someone, I guess.
Well, definitely strategic connections. I mean, River. I mean, both of them. I reached out to them because they wanted to make a connection, and also they knew they wanted to make a connection to a power player. So they did it the right way. They didn't come in like begging for acceptance or, you know, if you save me, I'll be loyal to you forever. They just went in there trying to actually just chat and build a connection, and it was enough to, you know, get them to fight for them in that vote off. So they did a good job. I mean, I feel like they have a good alliance there for now, but I feel like so many things are probably going to happen in this game. Who knows? Someone's going to have to turn on somebody.
Yeah. I think Courtney approached that in a really interesting way of how he did that. But I'd really like to talk about the River Terralisha thing because it was hilarious watching it because River approaches Terralisha wanting to save himself. So he says, you are like a big sister to me. Or he said big sister. And Terralisha's mind immediately goes to, well, no one's going to vote out their big sister. Not, oh, that's sweet. I mean, maybe initial, oh, that's sweet. No one's going to vote out. Like that is to like, no one's going to vote out their little sister. So it's funny is that like strategic goes in to make a connection goes to person that immediately makes it strategic. It's just funny is that they could have just got rid of the like bullshit.
Right. They could have just been strategic.
It's funny that they're both so game playing right now that like they're immediately strategic. Like both of them are like, okay, yes, because I need this person for XYZ.
Right. Yeah, that's 100% true.
That was kind of the theme of that entire second episode, really, because that brings us to the final talk with Terralisha and Savannah, and they're choosing everybody. Well, both of them trying to get their way because Terralisha kind of wants Courtney out because she sees Courtney as a threat, And then I don't really remember who Savannah was pushing for, if she was pushing for anybody. I'm assuming Chloe.
Yeah. Savannah clearly wanted Chloe out, but very obviously could not say that. I loved that scene. That scene was like watching two people who very desperately want to get their way, like politely attempt to strong arm the other person into their boot. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a proxy war maybe, where they're like attempting to get out. Neither of them are getting their main target, which was Savannah wants Chloe out, it seems, and Terralisha very much wants Courtney out. And Savannah takes Courtney off the table right at the start in exchange for River, and then we see Terralisha not bend on Chloe, and then Terralisha kind of gets herself backed into a corner after Courtney's off the table because it's two people that she both to varying degrees wants to. And it's really this scene really made me wonder what happens if two influencers cannot reach an agreement. Like, I don't know how the show resolves that.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I thought like that there was a chance that these two were not going to budge on anything, but yeah.
Yeah, on Island Isolation, if one of the power players can't come up with a choice, then one of them gets randomly chosen, so they have to come up with a choice. So I'm assuming it would be like that. Either that, or then number one should have the final say. That's the only other possibility.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I feel like if that was the case, then Terralisha should have just like stonewalled the whole time. But like, I think the first option provides way more better TV, and I hope we get to see that at some point later on.
Yeah.
That like these people hate each other who are in the top two spots, and they can't come to an agreement.
Yeah, that was fun to watch. I agree. I was surprised that Terralisha ended up budging on Bryant. They seem to have a pretty good connection, and I thought that she was gonna ride it for a bit. And she just, I mean, to me, she just doesn't seem like the budging type. So, I didn't see it coming. Definitely caught me by surprise.
Yeah, but I feel like Terralisha had the three people she wanted to keep, whereas Savannah only had one. So like, she's really gonna have to lose somebody.
Oh yeah.
I kind of feel like Bryant was probably the cut your losses type person.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, Emily was already saved. That's right. I was like, dude, why not?
Yep.
Why not Emily? Okay. Oh, and Terralisha saved her. Okay, cool.
And I think Chloe's staying is probably worse for Savannah, because I feel like I was saying earlier, I feel like she's made enemies already in the first 2 days or however long it's been.
Oh yeah, Chloe's not the forgiving type. Savannah's gonna need to watch out for sure.
Well, the cliffhanger for episode 2 was Lance Bass allegedly joining the game. You don't think it's Lance Bass, Dot?
No, I don't think anyone's gonna believe it either.
I know Mike's already watched, so I don't know, but like, I'm assuming it's not him either.
I think they went too big on that one. I just can't believe it. I just don't believe it. I don't think it's him. Is it him? I don't think it's him.
I mean, I definitely did not think it was him at the end of episode.
Yeah, I was like, no way. There's no way. There's no way it's him.
You think it'd be too big,
Yeah, he's just too big.
I mean, it's an interesting idea if it is a catfish to try and play a celebrity. I guess that's a kind of game it's an interesting game.
Yeah, right. It's bold. It's a bold move.
What kind of person would play such a ridiculously like well-known celebrity?
I would have to feel like it's somebody that's like a lesser known celebrity. That's what would be my assumption. That's who I thought it would be.
You see like a reality TV star playing like a rock star.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see. I'm curious. Netflix has the resources. They can make it happen if they wanted to.
True. I hope it's Joey Fatone playing Lance Bass. That's
That'd be hilarious. Then he could pull it off for sure.
Well, final thoughts on these 2 episodes.
They were pretty good. I'm already liking way more of the cast than season 1. There were a lot of I don't want to say duds, but there were a lot of duds on season 1 because I looked briefly back at it before starting this, and I couldn't remember half of the people who weren't big personalities, including some people who made the end, which is pretty sad for a show. And I feel like these people are much more memorable for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I never actually finished season 1. That's how bad I didn't really like it. I was bored compared to the UK. Going from the UK to that, I was like, I think I finished 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's a little fluffy. So, I still think they're trying to have a message about social media and real connections and that kind of stuff. But I have a feeling that this season is going to be a little bit more spicy with these characters here. So predictions? Can I do a prediction?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, what do they do? Final? Well, they do final 2, right? It's final 4 and then final 2.
Oh, you want to go final 2?
I mean,
it's a little early. We still got new people joining, but go ahead.
Oh, that's true. That's so true. All right. Well, I'm gonna leave a spot open. I will say I think that Courtney will be in the final 2.
Yeah, I think that's a good prediction.
I think he's got it. You just get a feeling about people. He seems like a winner. Smart, knows how to talk. Does it for a living.
I could definitely see it. I'll just say Courtney versus Lance Bass in the final.
We'll just say, the second one's going to be a newcomer. Let's just say that. We'll go with that.
I was gonna say a clean sweep, but there's no there's no jury. Wait, oh no, it's the ranking thing at the end, right? Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all for this week. I think next week we can maybe try 3 episodes. I just didn't have time to do more than 2 episodes this week. That way we could kind of keep it, since they do 4 every week. I don't know. It's hard to keep up with all of them.
I will stop, but because I didn't know we were only doing 2, and that way I can not watch all of them.
So yes, we will attempt 3 next week, I guess. So episodes 3 through 5.
All right. I'll tell my mom that I have to watch more TV. Take that, Mom.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. I will see everybody next week.